How's it going, guys? It's K Cars, and this video is going to be talking about 5 things I love about the Chevy Corvette Z06. So if you didn't see my previous video, I was talking about 5 things I hate about this car, and honestly I had to be very picky in that video, so definitely go check that video out if you want to see some things that don't even matter about the Z06 that I hate. So just kind of like a funny video that I wanted to make for you guys. But anyways, this video, like I said, is going to be 5 things I love about the Z06, and it's going to be really hard to come up with only 5 things for this video. But anyways, let's get started. Number 1 thing I love about this car has to be the speed. The speed and the acceleration of the car is just insane. Like the first time I ever floored this car, it was on the highway. I was literally going 70 miles an hour. So a car going that fast, flooring it, you really shouldn't be able to feel like it's going too fast. But literally, it put me back in the seat so much. I got to like 70 to 100 in what felt like a second. And that was the first time I ever floored this car. That was actually one of my previous videos called like first impressions or something. So if you want to see my reaction to that, definitely go check that video out. But like I said, the acceleration in this car is unlike anything I've ever felt before. And I've driven some very fast cars, including a GTR and a Lamborghini Aventador, and that was on a track too, so I could actually unleash the full potential of those cars. And this car doesn't even compare to those cars. So for example, the GTR, yes, it does have less horsepower, so I understand that, but the Lamborghini, you know, 700 horsepower, I guess it does weigh a little bit more than this car, I think. This car weighs about 3,500 pounds with 650 horsepower. I'm not sure how much the Aventador weighs, but I'm pretty sure it's more than this. It's also 50 horsepower more. This car feels a whole heck of a lot faster in acceleration. Not sure about the top speed. I don't even know how much it is. I would guess the Aventador can go a little bit faster, but the acceleration on this thing is insane, even compared to a Lamborghini Aventador with 700 horsepower. The second thing I love about this car is the way it looks. I mean, even in all black, it just looks so sinister. It's like the Batmobile. It's all blacked out completely, all black outside and inside. I think it's a perfect name for this car. It just looks insane. Coming down the road, it has a bunch of road presence. It is pretty big on the outside, I'm not gonna lie, but on the inside, it's so compact, like a jet, like a fighter jet. Everything's driver oriented. And then the back of this car looks insane with that spoiler, especially with the Z07 package. You get that clear wicker bill that connects these 2 sides of the wings, I guess, together. I just can't get enough of this car. You can see it's a bit wider than the Stingray. I believe it's like 2 inches wider on each side with the fenders right here and like the hips in the back. And then the back angle from this car, looking down at the tires, this car has 3 45s in the back, which is insane. I'm not sure if you guys could see that with the sun shining down here, but that is insane. This car comes stock with 3 35s, I believe, but this car has 3 45s right here, which, I mean, with 650 horsepower, you definitely need as much traction as you can get. So I mean, I can't really say enough great things about how this car looks, but I'm trying my best to put this into words. Like, you can see the side skirts down there add a lot. The hood is huge, which makes the presence like even more coming down the road. And the daytime running lights look amazing coming down the road as well. Just like how it's a 2-seater and it just slants back like that. It's so aerodynamic coming down the road, you can tell. With the top taken off, I think it looks great as well. Though it does look like something's missing if you don't have the top, obviously, but it is a convertible, so it still looks amazing. I only feel like that about the hard top though. I'm not a huge fan of the convertible version of this car, like the soft top convertible. I just don't like how it goes like from the roof to straight down like that. I like how it's slanted. That looks a whole lot better in my opinion. So number 2 was the looks of this car. Let's move on to number 3. So the third thing I love about this car is the inside of it. Now, if you watch my video about 5 things I hate about this car, you'll know that the inside is kind of cheap plastic material. Like, it's not the best quality, but what I mean by the interior is kind of like the layout of everything. It's definitely driver oriented like a fighter jet, and I kind of want to compare it to an Aventador, like how it looks like on the inside. I know it's nowhere close. The Aventador looks a whole lot better in my opinion, but when you get inside this car, you're literally sitting on the floor. And I know there's cars that are lower than this, but I'm used to driving a Dodge Challenger, and coming from that, this car is a whole lot lower. That's something I love about this car. So looking at the steering wheel, you have this carbon fiber and the flat bottom, and I love how the steering wheel is kind of small and compact. It makes it feel like more of a race car. And then here you can see everything's driver focused, driver oriented, and the whole inside of the car is just really compact, and I just love that about this car. Like, the Challenger is kind of like an open space inside the car. Feels like a boat, obviously. You know, everyone calls it a boat. It's 4,200 pounds. But coming from a boat to this car feels very compact, like I said. And the outside of the car, like I said, has a whole bunch of road presence. It looks really big, especially in the front with that huge hood. Then coming inside, you definitely can see the size of the hood. Like, this is kind of what I see. You can't really tell from the camera right here, but like I don't know what you want to call these, but the fenders on the left and right side, you really notice those a lot, and like they do block some visibility. And then you have some pretty sweet blind spots back there, but this isn't a video talking about that. I just wanted to kind of point some things out about the inside, and I love this car so much. It's just such a like a race car. You feel like a race car driver driving this thing just because it's so freaking fast. Like, I've never felt anything like this. And yes, I do think the interior is a little bit cheap, like I'm not gonna lie. The plastic does feel pretty cheap. The leather doesn't even feel like real leather, but I just like the layout of the inside and like the orientation and how it's so compact and everything, and just everything about the inside except the materials used. So I believe that was number 3 for the video, and now let's move on to number 4. Number 4, it's going to be the removable hardtop. So this car does actually have the transparent roof option, which I didn't think I would be a fan of at first, because I thought the sun would just be shining onto me the whole time, but it is tinted, so it's really not that bad. I can actually stare directly at the sun through the roof, so that shows you how much the tint actually does to it. But I love like the removable part of it. And it's really simple to actually take off too. All you do is remove this latch. There's one on the driver's side and one on the passenger side. And then there's one in the back that's a bit more complicated to take off. But all you do is you push this one forward and then pull that down. So I'm not gonna do it right now, but that's how you do it, and it looks really awesome. It's a lot of fun to drive with the roof off. And a cool thing about this is that it fits perfectly inside the trunk, so you don't have to worry about like a space to put the roof like with a Jeep. I guess with a Jeep you kind of can put it in the trunk, but there's not really like a specific spot. With this, it fits perfectly. There's like an actual spot to store the roof, which is really cool for this car. I just love it. So number 5 is going to be the exhaust, specifically like the different exhaust modes that you can do with this car. So I will go ahead and start the car. And that sound never gets old. So I'm going to show you guys how to look at the different exhaust modes, how to switch the different exhaust modes. So you want to go to settings, driving mode, engine sound management. So right now it's in stealth mode. If you have it in auto, it will automatically change the exhaust with the different driving modes. So for example, the exhaust would only be in track mode if you are in the track driving mode. I like to be in track mode the whole time, and stealth and tour are pretty much the same, and sport and track are also pretty much the same. And I'm going to include some exhaust clips of what stealth and track sound like, so you guys can like hear the difference with those two. That's why I love the exhaust so much in this car. It sounds insane stock, and even with just like headers and catalyst X-pipe, it'll scream when you floor it. And that's what I love about this car, is that you can make it extremely loud, and not even like extremely loud and extremely fast, and not even go crazy with mods. Like, it's already fast stock. So guys, that's gonna do it for this video. There's 5 things I love about the Corvette C7 Z06. If you guys found anything else that you love about the Z06, make sure to leave those down in the comments. If you have any constructive criticism, make sure to also leave that down in the comments. If you have any video suggestions, also leave those in the comments. I will be making a lot more videos with this car. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I have a first impressions video, a review, and 5 things I hate about this car. So if you haven't checked those out, make sure to do that. They are on my channel. And I have a few more videos coming out that I recorded with this car, so you definitely want to subscribe so you don't miss those. If you liked this video or found it entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.